next speaker for the day is Mr. Naresh Bhagtani, CEO Juvlon. He will be talking about how to get a good database for email marketing. Before we begin, I would like to thank our sponsors EasyWorms, Payoneer, Juvlon, InnoServe, Tata Docomo, Boransoft for this session. May I now call upon Mr. Naresh Bhagtani. He is the CEO of Juvlon, an email marketing company from Pune. With their solutions and services, they have created a highly loyal customer base amongst many businesses. A huge round of applause.
So I've contributed to the development of Juvlon, the architect of the product, and that's been about 7 years that the product has been in existence. I've been consulting on email marketing since before that, so eight years. And as an email marketing service provider, actually a software provider, I can tell you, I can't tell you. I can't tell you the number of times that we've been approached by potential customers or interested customers who says, do you have a database? And every time we come back to them and say, no, we don't deal with databases. We don't have our own databases to market or to sell. You need to come with your own database. And that's what this webinar is about, that how to actually get your own database. And how to actually get a good database also. So this webinar is not about buying lists. This seminar, sorry. I've had this webinar once before. So this seminar is not about buying lists. It's not about extracting lists from websites. And it's not about showing you ways to create new email addresses from programs. That's not what this is about. This seminar is, what is this really about? I'm going to tell you about organic acquisition of email, inorganic acquisition of email, lists, and I'm also going to cover landing pages. Also going to make it a little more interactive with being a bit of a workshop so that you can actually participate. And then we'll take questions after that. So coming to the topic at hand, email list acquisition. Why would you want, in case you already have a list, why would you want to grow a list? By default, do you need to really grow a list also? Apart from the fact that growing your list will automatically mean more revenue, more a wider database, a wider reach. But did you know this has to be done even if you don't grow, even if you don't have those objectives in mind, your list will definitely degrade about 25% every year. Now, call it fatigue, call it disinterest, unsubscriptions, abandoned emails, etc. By default, your list is going to degrade. If you just keep it that way, your subscribers, your customer base essentially degrades by 25% every year. And that makes list growth a continuous activity and a consistent one at that. You want a list and you want to grow that list. So you need to take a step back. What do you want to give to actually get people to come and sign up with you, or people to come and get interested in you? You have to give something ahead. What do you give? One thing, usually what people do is promotions. They shove promotions down. You can't keep shoving promotions down at people's throats, under people's throats. It does not add value to them. If that's what you're currently doing, the list degradation will be more than 25% in a year. You need to give them something more. You need to add value. This value is usually given by providing value-added content, informational content, educational stuff, things that people can actually use, and hence they would give you their information back. They need to give you a contact information. You need to give them something back for that. Now, for example, we have a customer who sells printer cartridges through their website. They have a small but involved database. Their subscribers, the reason why their subscribers are involved is because this customer just doesn't sell them 25% off on printer cartridges, 20% off on something else, laser, ink cartridges. This customer actually provides them value-added content, how to make your printer cartridge last longer, how can you make changes in the printer settings so that you use less ink, So there is a lot of educational. Along with that, yeah, they do put on the promotions. That's fair enough. But the customer is actually getting to learn something, save money, or actually optimize their spending. Hence, it's an involved database for a company that sells printer cartridges, a commodity item. So if you're a business, online or offline, it doesn't matter. You must have a content strategy. You need to provide content, give value-added stuff so that people can give you something back. What can you provide? Content. It's actually, you need to have a content strategy. The content strategy means content creation and content marketing. And email comes into the content marketing bit. This is a must. By organic list growth, what I really mean by is having a consistent, constant effort towards growing your list. Step-by-step mechanism. Usually through your website, newsletters, referrals, you get more people coming to your website, you get more people coming, reading your newsletters if they get forwarded, through your social marketing channels, and basically trying to get more viral, trying to get more referrals. So that's how regular organic list growth happens. And for organic list growth, your website is absolutely key. Your website has to be conducive to people asking the right questions or asking you for inquiries or wanting to sign up to get more information from you. Switch. So this is some things that you should be doing if you're not already to spruce up a little bit of your website. Your sign up has to be ubiquitous. Try to make your sign up as available across pages of your website. It should be visible. It should not be at the bottom, at the footer. Because how are you closing the loop? How are you compelling a customer to write back to you or give you some information back? And if you are offering something back to them as in terms of valuable content, you might as well take their information right up front, isn't it? You've got to have, now for example, this is HubSpot's. So what they do is on every blog page, they have their subscription right here. So you can actually subscribe easily. You read some valuable content and say, hey, I want more of that. Here's how you do it. Next, when you want them to sign up, they should be able to see what will they get. Some past newsletters, so you have an archive. Create some testimonials from existing subscribers saying that, hey, I found this content really useful. That makes them want to sign up. And don't forget your privacy policy. Whenever you ask people for their contact information, that's private information. They are always they're always wary about the fact that it could be used in an indiscriminate manner. So unscrupulous way. So you need to be very clear that this is for your own consumption. It's not being distributed to somebody else, and you're going to get something back. So don't worry, we'll keep it secure. And give your visitors a good reason to sign up also, which means provide the benefit right up front. Here, this is a wine company, and they actually, I don't know if you can see this, but when you're visiting their page, this comes up as a pop-up, and this is what you call a squeeze page. And here it gives you a reason why you should sign up. What if keeping track of your beers were as easy as drinking them? So they tell you what's new, first of all. They tell you what are new wines, etc. They give you it's very informative, and it provides they provide you a reason why you should sign up with them if you're interested in types of liquor. Next thing, this is something very interesting. You can actually make an autofill, right? If you have a WordPress website, you should use this plugin. It's called Max Blog Press. And what it does is, if you have a form and a customer or a visitor comes to your form, and it could be a sign-up page or whatever registration form, it autofills all the entries, so the person does not have to type in anything because they've already filled up some forms earlier somewhere. If this plugin picks up from the cache and throws up all the data that has been previously filled up in those fields, and all the person has to do, the visitor has to do, is click on subscribe or click on register or something like that. Effortless. This actually does increase form filling rates by some. If you go on their website, it says about 30% more people fill up forms using this plugin. Have you put your signature to good use? This is one way of growing your list organically. Now imagine all your company personnel sending out all those mails every day, each mail going out with your signature, right? And most of everybody, what they do is put up a disclaimer. This mail is not meant for somebody who's not supposed to open it, etc., etc. And all that junk goes into the signature. But not many people utilize their signatures well. And a signature can be utilized with the latest bit of content that you're trying to promote. It could be a blog, like we use our signature for, this is our signature, this is Smitha's signature actually. I didn't take your permission. But this is Smitha's signature, and every week we change those last two lines over there. Sometimes we have a webinar, and we promote that using those. So every week there is a change, and this signature goes out from every person's email, everywhere, from our organization. We're about, 42 strong, and all those mails that are being exchanged. So in case somebody is not receiving your newsletter, but you're communicating with them on a one-on-one level, even then you're promoting your content. Some more ways. If you're generating content, let somebody else reprint that content with your byline, which means what you get is your content is proliferating, and also you get a link back from that. So that helps you two ways. First, you get your content out to more people. Second, you get link backs, which helps you tremendously as far as SEO is concerned. You've got a Facebook page. You might have a Facebook page. You might have a LinkedIn page. But are you taking signups from there? You need to encourage people not just to read, but also interact, which means get back to you. You see, there is nobody. People coming onto your Facebook or your LinkedIn page are really anonymous. All you have is a list of names, right? Photographs maybe. But then there is no contactable information there. You really need to push somebody to actually give you their contact information. Now, if you have a Facebook page, you have all these people who've liked your Facebook page, you need to give them something more than that, which means you need to ask them to sign up to get more content that is likable. They've liked you, might as well sign up for it. And say if you have a retail presence. I don't know how many people over here actually have retail presence. Anybody? Or are we all online people only? Okay. So just in case, if you know somebody in the retail side of things, or if they should have in-store communication. When you go into a shop, and hardly do you see people saying that, hey, sign up for our newsletter. They do send out some feedback form or something like that. If you go to a restaurant, after your meal, they'll give you a feedback form and do those things. But feedback is one thing. Anybody who's shopping with you or coming to your shop, and you shop, and even you guys are shoppers, you must have gone to a shop. Nobody gets to know who you are, right? If you go to a nice shop and you've been going there regularly, have they bothered to ask you, would you like to hear from us? Sign up for something on a regular basis that will tell you what we're doing next, what's our next collection, or what's our next thing. I don't see that happening too much. They have danglers, they have pop-ups, they should be in-store advertising. In-store should encourage people to sign up. And whether you're a shop or your restaurant, a tabletop saying that, hey, listen, get the next meal, or they all publicize their Facebook thing, by the way. They all do that. Like us on Facebook, but liking you on Facebook is not going to get any contact information from you. With email or with mobiles, it could be a two-way information that can be exchanged. It's contactable. So this here is going to be the larger section of our webinar here, how to grow your list inorganically. What do you mean by inorganically? What I mean by inorganically means getting a whole bunch of people to join up, or getting a whole bunch of people to sign up or to register or to become potential customers with you in a short period of time. Let me go ahead and tell you how. First, don't buy lists. There is, you have to spend a little less money on that, but then that's not going to help you. Frankly, buying CDs or buying unsolicited data from anywhere, it's going to cause a lot of spam issues. It's going to hurt your brand. In the longer run, what it does is actually hurt your brand. And it could have larger technical implications, as in the next time you send a regular mail out to somebody else, like on a peer-to-peer level, like you sending a mail to your business contact one-on-one, that might itself not reach that business contact, because the internet world has largely marked you as a spammer. Your domain has been blacklisted. And that happens when you buy lists and you start unsolicited mailing. So even your business-to-business mail gets locked off. And then a lot of people come to us after getting blacklisted, saying, how do I get this off? And so there's no easy way. It takes a lot of cajoling and coaxing, and Google does not have any 800 phone number to ask, hey, get me off your blacklist. They don't do that. They have this regular form, and it's not an easy form to fill. Okay, so don't ever buy lists. Think about renting lists through list brokers. Now, I'll tell you a little more about this. This is actually going to be covered in the next few slides in a lot more detail. Partnering with lists. If you have a group company, so these partnering for list kind for kind usually happens when there's a larger group company. They have different subsidiary companies, and then you partner and you barter things. You send to mine, like for example, a couple of our customers do that. Larger groups like the K-Raija group, there's Shoppers Stop, there's Crossword, there's Hypercity. They keep bartering their promotions. They don't exchange lists. They don't say, hey, give me your list and I'll take your list. It's not like that. But they run promos on each other's. That's what's called renting lists, and that's what's called partnering with other list owners. Google AdWords. Now, that's pretty regular. I think a lot of people here run SEM campaigns, search engine marketing campaigns, and Google AdWords is one of the primary destinations where you go for, right? Now, but some people do use Google AdWords to increase signups. There is registrations, obviously. It's Google AdWords, you are getting people to come and transact with you, give you their information for registration purposes. That adds to your list. But you can also use Google AdWords to increase signups to your own newsletter. People are searching for content on Google. If they find your content relevant, they should sign up. Traditional advertising. Has anybody come across any traditional advertising, like in TV or in press? Have you seen people asking you to subscribe? I remember there were commercials being run by BBC for people just to sign up for their regular news alerts. I remember not so long ago, the CNBC TV 18 the Indian channel, was exclusively promoting their money control sign up for regular market news. So they've been running all these very expensive campaigns to sign up for getting sign-ups from people. And then when you're talking about a mass medium like TV, then you're talking about inorganic list growth. sponsoring webinars and seminars like this, right? I don't have all your emails. Okay, that doesn't mean, but you can sometimes, if you're a gold sponsor or lead sponsor or something like that, have a tie-up with saying that, hey, listen, the registrations are going to be, the people who are registering will receive something from us separately. That doesn't mean that your data becomes their ownership. It shouldn't be like that. But running webinars, webinars are an excellent way and actually a very cost-effective way to get a large number of people to join up on your list. But that doesn't mean you can start sending out them promotions. They've signed up for a webinar, you send out a lot of promotions and they're going to just unsubscribe from there. They need to be handled a little differently. The sales funnel is going to be a little different. Right, so now I told you I'm going to talk about a little bit more about renting lists, third-party lists. So I'm going to jump into that. Third-party lists are lists owned by other entities, other than yourself. And renting them means that you get to send promotions or you get to send whatever you want to talk about to those lists with the list owner's permission. That's what you call a third-party list. Have any of you engaged in this kind of thing? Have you rented out a third-party list? Anybody? By a show of hands. Okay, fine. All right. So is that everybody is in that number 3 category? Yes? No? Okay, by show of hands.
When I was working with one of the rocket internet ventures.
Your name, please. I see. I did see some of the hands. Were those hands exclusively for number 3? Right. Okay. All right. Fine. So fair enough. I've come to the right place. You've come to the right place. We'll move ahead and we'll tell you how we can use them if you're interested, and how do you use them effectively if you've already done so. Okay. In order to use third-party lists, you need to understand what kind of third-party lists exist out there. There are qualities, grades of third-party lists. Highly permission-based ones. The ones which have an existing, they have a good, strong subscription model in place, like one of those rocket internet companies, right? People are registering for them. They are regularly communicating with their customers. So that list is a highly permission-based, engaged list. Whereas there are others in the market who will, if you make some calls, you'll say, hey, listen, we have some lists available, and those are what we call as aggregated lists. They have a very loose relationship happening. They have a very loose method of actually getting customers also. So you'll get them at a cheaper price, but the return of investment is subject to asterisk. You will obviously get better performance through the permission-based lists. And, but you have to shell out a little more. But for a better ROI, why not? How many minutes is that? Okay, 5, right. Okay, fair enough. If you do find some lists, and in fact, there are ways to find third-party lists, make sure you do it the right way. You promote the right way. Your message to a third-party list needs to go with the third-party owner's name as a sender, not yours. Okay, this is one of the common things that I've seen everywhere. You market yourself to a third-party list, the sender changes to yourself, which you don't have a relationship with the third-party subscriber. The list owner has the relationship. Capitalize on that, use that same sender. That's how they'll get to open. This is the mindset of, you see, what happens is a subscriber opens an email, or you check yourselves out. Next time you check your email, first thing you see, who's the sender? You don't see the subject line first. you see the sender first. You need to have an established relationship with the sender. You need to have that trust with the sender. Then you go ahead and open it. So if you're receiving a mail from from an unknown person, the chances of you opening it is much lesser. If possible, co-brand the email body with the list owner's logo as well. And couple of things, that's it. And yes. They're not giving the data, right? You see, why would somebody do that? To monetize on their lists. They're spending a lot of money to create this list, right? And they're running regular content on that. That also is a lot of money to do that. And once in a while, these list owners do run third-party promotions in order to monetize their lists. Monetize their lists means gain money out of that. When you sign up with them, usually somewhere in that little gray screen where the terms and conditions are listed, you say, occasionally we will send you third-party promotions which will be relative to your preferences. Whether it's relative to your preferences or not is another issue, but they do have permission that they have said. And if they abuse it, you will obviously unsubscribe, right? But if they do it carefully, like I'm subscribed to eBay. Once in a while, I do get promotions from other partners of eBay, which are actually relevant. Some of them I've actually clicked on and gone ahead and completed the transaction with. I would never have opened that email if it didn't come from eBay, right? The reason I'm opening things from eBay or from a Flipkart is because I've bought something over there, and I'm a regular customer with them, right? Now, if somebody, a Joe Schmo, has got your email, because your email has been floating around, it's in one of those lists that are available very easily in a CD, you're not going to open those. There are much less chances actually lands up in your inbox at all. So for better delivery, first of all, getting your message across, and second, capitalizing on the existing relationship of the business owner, the list owner. That's why you would use a rented list. The other side, there is no, the other side is the bought list, and there is really no statistic to that, yeah? 1% will be great for you, frankly. But the 99% is actually negative. Over here, if it is 8% or 10%, the rest of the 90% is not negative, right? That doesn't hurt your brand.
My company is associated with MCCIA.
Yes.
All right. So we can take the list that they have, existing list of all the people who have subscribed to them, and then I can use that email list and promote or make a marketing campaign, email marketing campaign, promoting my products.
Yes.
But MCCI won't be the one who will send emails to all these other clients that they have. So I'll have to do it from my own email address. But if I have in the subject line something that mentions associated with MCCIA or something, probably you or whoever is associated with them would open it.
See, is MCCIA communicating with you on a regular basis?
Sort of,
and it's communicating with its members on a regular basis?
Yeah.
Yes. So an MCCIA member is recognizing that there is a mail from MCCIA, correct? Capitalize on that relationship. Ask MCCIA if you have to pay a little for sending, which means if you have to cover the costs for sending, still worth it, very well worth it. But you are capitalizing on the existing relationship that MCCIA has with its members.
Okay.
You are trying to establish that relationship. You don't have an existing one.
Correct.
Hence, I would still say use MCCIA as a platform. After all, you're getting this information also from MCCIA, right? Utilize that.
All right. Thanks.
Right. So we usually have these webinars. I keep talking about these webinars. Can you hold that question for 1 minute? Just hold that thought. We have regular webinars. I keep talking about webinars, and this is actually what we do. We do more webinars than seminars. So what we do is we use third-party lists. We use something from Trade Briefs on a regular basis, and they have involved customer base of software professionals, retail professionals, etc. And we send them, they send this on our behalf, and we pay them on a per, but we make sure that the subject line is that the sender is still Trade Briefs. The subject line says what we have to say. Webinar tomorrow got database, email list acquisition. So this is just an example. Yes, you were saying.
I had a bit of confusion regarding your third-party list.
Yes.
So I tried to figure out. So people generally after graduation upload their resumes on Naukri.com, timeshops.com, shine.com,
Yeah.
all the.
Yes.
So these portals generally sell their lists or rent their list to FMCG companies or companies which are having their target audience as youth. So is that the list you're talking about?
See, that is a list, but I'm not sure. I mean, you have to be. I don't know how a Naukri.com is using that database, frankly. How is it going to be relevant if a Naukri.com database is being utilized for selling shampoo? I'm not sure that. And figuring this out, actually, I see there is a void over here, and that's why what we did was, in the last 2 months, we've launched a product called Prime Network, and which is basically a marketplace for list owners, ones who own lists, ones who have their own subscriber databases, and those who are advertisers. They come together, and the list owner gets to choose which campaign they want to send out to their advertisers, to their subscribers. So they're not just indiscriminately sending anything out, they actually get to choose the most relevant campaign that will be worthy of their subscribers. If you want a little more information about that, we are boothed outside, right? Now, if you're spending a lot of time and money in building your own list and having this potential customers with you, you can't afford to lose them, right? The curation and the engagement is left up to the list owner. The advertiser gets the benefit of that relationship, right? So then it could actually it could be that their response rates are in excess of 10% opens. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Sir, that will be the last question.
That would be the last question.
I have a list.
Yes.
In that list, some of the messages, if it is a Yahoo, it goes into the inbox.
Yes.
But if it is a Gmail,
Yeah.
it goes into the spam.
Yes.
So it's like, and they have subscribed they have purchased something from my website, but it is still going on the spam.
Right. So
So-
that's a question on delivery,
Yeah.
right? I will have to take that just after this on an offline manner. It's out of the scope of this particular seminar, but I will come back to you. May I know your name?
My name is Shreyans Jain.
Shreyans. Okay, we'll catch up, Shreyans. All right. So now let's figure out. Now you're doing all this promotion. You're reaching out. You're doing this Google AdWords thing. You're doing you probably looked at a third-party list, etc., etc. Now you put your word out, but that doesn't mean you got the data. How do you end up getting the data? That's what the next part is. Getting this traffic, you've invested money so that you can get all this traffic. What are you doing with that? It's not that this traffic is coming to you, they're coming and giving you their contact information. Hey, I've come to your page, take everything you want. It doesn't happen. Your landing pages need to make a difference. That's where the real conversion happens. The magic of getting the getting the contact information comes on the landing pages side. Sending out the communication is halfway there. Actually, less than halfway there. The landing pages contribute to about 60-70% of your conversions, right? Let's talk a little bit about how to make a good landing page. You've got to look at the headline. You have to craft an engaging headline. This is an example of a great headline. This is by Airbnb, and very straightforward, extremely straightforward. Now, I'm doing this for a headline. Please, this is not the landing page that I'm showing you. I'm showing you this as a headline example. So the headline is actually the primary main headline, and then there is a subheading. right? Within these two, you have to grab the attention of that visitor. There are surveys run, and there is this particular agency called Copy Blogger, a blogging website. They've run a survey. 8 out of 10 people coming onto your landing page will read that headline. 2 people will read the rest of it. That's it. That's according to surveys. 80% of the people go there. You got to capture that. You got to have an engaging webline. The next thing that you really need to have as part of your landing page. And in fact, actually, these things, what I'm talking about, actually apply to email design as well. The same principles, except for 1 or 2, and I'll make those exceptions. But the exact same principles apply to your while crafting your email as they apply to while crafting your landing pages. Use one clear call to action. It's very critical that you don't confuse people when they come to your website. You can't have too many links happening out there. In fact, you should have as less links as possible. And they should not take the thunder away from the call to action. The call to action is your big button, right? So you can't see this very clearly, but this is the big button. This is something called Square. Square is actually a company that sells an app to merchants who can use their app to swipe credit cards without having a credit card machine like that. So they can plug in that little appendage to their mobile phone and they can start taking credit card payments. Square does that. This is their landing page that they had used in order for merchants to start using their application or downloading their app. So very straightforward. The visual says it all. That little button, there's no confusion. Straightforward. You just sign up here no matter what she's asking, isn't it? Okay, all right. You got to keep your forms short and simple. And this does not apply to emails. You won't be able to send. You shouldn't be sending forms with emails, even if you can. But this applies very well to landing pages. You lose people if you ask for more than 3 or 4 pieces of information. Ideally, this should be enough. Depends on what you want, basically. But even so, if you have more pieces of information to ask, go to the thank you page and place that there, right? Take another couple of pieces of information on the thank you page. You've got them involved already. Now they're ready to give you more. Get it? And yes, we are in a mobile world. You've got to make your landing pages mobile friendly, responsive, which means it has to appear correctly on a mobile. And that doesn't mean it's optimized, meaning that this design appears in a scrunched manner in a mobile. That's not the way it's to be. It has to be responsive. It could actually be slightly different than what appears on the desktop. And considering that that landing page could be used for your SEM, for your Google AdWords, or from an email, you got to think of all perspectives. Most of the emails now are read on the mobile, right? And I think the numbers are crossing 60% right now. And especially in India, we're actually the biggest mobile-only country in the world, where if people have their mobile, more than 30% of the population don't even have a desktop, who have mobiles and with internet connections. So this becomes very relevant. Use visual clues. Like that lady in the previous one, this lady here is actually showing you where to take your attention. See the directional cues over here. You could use arrows, you could use pointers. They've chosen something of a implicit visual cue to make you look at what they want you to look at. Chemistry.com. And don't forget to include trust indicators. This is extremely critical. Now, the existing customers that you have, a testimonial of a customer, these emblems, This is a security certificate notification. This is affiliation that you have. Even social reviews, like you've got a 4-star rating somewhere or the other, put it over there. It establishes trust. You're dealing with people who are strangers coming to your landing page or your website. How the hell do you convince them? Through trust. And you have to have trust indicators on your landing page. And I'm just giving you a general format. This is how it could be designed. A nice landing page could be designed as a layout like this. And that holds true for an email also, where you use a large image, you use your basic headline, subheading, and you have a section for trust at the bottom. Now, for the sure, back up. If you want the slide deck, I can share it with you. That's not a problem. Right. Did we skip something? No, we said okay. Right. Test. You can't ignore. This, no matter what kind of a landing page you have to test. Either you test with 2 different landing pages, or you test with different elements within that landing page, right? You got to test whether this call to action button is really working for you. Or sometimes even the color matters, by the way. Should I place this here? Should I place this there? It differs in your conversion ratios. And a 10% difference in your conversion ratios means a lot of, is a very significant difference. It means lesser expense. It means better conversion. It means your senior is happier. That's what it means. Testing is the only way you can figure that out. And that goes for emails as well. If you'd like to know a little bit about A/B testing, we can catch up just after this seminar. I'll show you real examples of actual landing pages that are being currently used, and good examples on how it should be used. This is a company called Industrial Strength Marketing. They're a digital ad agency. Okay, this is a promotion for creating responsive websites. Okay, now that line is a given. It really strikes you. Don't make me zoom. When I'm looking at your website in my mobile, don't make me pinch here around and scroll this way, scroll that way. It really strikes you when you say, hey, don't make me zoom. That makes sense. Your customer should not be zooming in. You don't want to zoom in yourself. How don't you want to do that? By using responsive design. And these guys are providing you with a nice white paper on how you implement responsive design. Notice the use of contrast color. This makes a difference. Yeah, if they had used a gray or if they had used a blue, it wouldn't have worked out very well. They match it up with their logos here and there. They could have actually provided some testimonials, but they chose not to. The same format in an email. An email, see the landing page has to serve as an extension to your email, right? So part of this content actually has gone into an email. Like this part of the content has already gone into an email. From that email, people have jumped onto this landing page. So it's most likely that this part of the content has gone in with the same red button, but this landing page serves as a method of collection of data and gratification for the customer. This, I don't know if you've heard of Basecamp. These guys are, they have an online task management system, yeah? And this is one of their landing pages. It's very inviting. I found it very inviting. I want to point out some things that they've done actually. This is a testimonial, actually speaking. This is some real figures here. They haven't said over 6,000 companies. They haven't said about 6,300. They're being exact. It serves well for you to be exact. So even tomorrow, even if you, when you're designing your web pages and you want to highlight the number of customers who are patrons of yours, use the exact number. It bodes well. You're being truthful, you're being honest, and the person who's reading this establishes that. They can see through it. And of course, this illustration of a cartoon man, and there is directional cues here, and then you have this form over here. So they're leading your eyesight to go this way. Here, and then this guy, and it comes like that. If you trace your eyes, that's how it actually works. This is the final example that we have. It's from Unbounce. Unbounce is actually an authority in landing page design. They've got awards as far as landing page designs are concerned. So they offer this as a service to different companies, providing their expertise for landing page design. And this is one of their landing pages for their own promotion. Very clear. They offer courses in landing page design. Very, very absolutely. You see the directional cues? They want you to look over here. They want you to read this, go here. Makes a lot of sense. It has a high conversion ratio. Implement these, you will be able to get those get that inorganic list growth done much quicker than what you expect. So finally, what have we learned? Your email list will degrade 25% every year, even if you don't add to it. Second, there are methods of inorganic and organic growth of your list, and your landing pages are where the actual conversion happens. The real magic occurs on your landing pages. Now, I would have said we've taken questions, but we've already taken questions. And I'm under pressure. So I'm afraid we'll have to conclude right now. Thank you for being such a nice audience. Thank you very much.